Hi guys, here we are again, episode 3. Last month we spoke about Data Cloud, which is one of the big topics, but one of two that I've been hearing about at the moment, and the second one is AI. So this month we're here talking about AI, specifically AI in Marketing Cloud, but we're going to tap into a few things generally about AI, how we can trust it, what features are coming out in the roadmap in Salesforce, and some of the use cases that we've come across over the past few months of customers that can use AI in Salesforce. Now, as you've seen in other podcasts, I'm not the technical guy. I'm here, I do sales, partnerships, alliances. I don't know the tech. So I've got my techie over here. And also the founder and lead architect over here at Cloudigital. Younnis, how you doing, mate?
You say this every session. You are good, man. You're good. Technically, yeah, Chris is underselling himself. But yes, I am very happy to be back here talking with you again, Chris. So
happy days. Well, yeah, look, I'd rather undersell and over-deliver. So slightly technical, but not technical enough to go into detail on AI. So Younnis, like I said, last month we spoke about Data Cloud, which is really interesting. Really good to hear from Kev and Hertgruten. But today I wanted to touch on the other hot topic, which is AI. I don't really know where to start with it, to be honest, because it is quite a big conversation. It seems to be feeding into everything. You know, every. Even like EE the other day, right? So I'm on the phone to customer service at EE, and they're like, use our new service. It's powered, essentially something powered by AI. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. It took longer than just getting on the phone to a human. So I was, there's great use cases for it, but at the same time, I feel like it's being shoehorned in a lot of places.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a funny one for me. I'm not.
It's a good point. No, it's so true. And we can't avoid it. We are hearing that everywhere. AI powered, But I think that the unique thing with Salesforce, before AI was a big thing, right? AI has really been a big thing in the past probably since ChatGPT, really. Since ChatGPT's come to the surface, everyone's talking about AI. But everyone who's been in the ecosystem for more than a couple of years, Einstein, how long has Einstein been around? And Salesforce has been in this game for a long time. So it's only now that everyone's talking about AI. It's let me hear about this new AI feature on Salesforce.
Salesforce are we've been doing this for years.
I know, this is our bag.
We know what we're doing in this space, right?
Which is great. I mean, it's been a big benefit to us. I mean, us being in the Marketing Cloud space, we've been building with these Einstein features for years. So it's good to see it being pushed on us. Well, I say pushed on us, but clients are coming to us saying, I've heard about this new AI thing. And it's
it's at the forefront now, isn't it? It's all over marketing everywhere, so people are seeing it. So instead of it being something that's in a corner somewhere, and some people might know, some people might not, right now it's
100%.
AI. So everybody's coming forward and going, okay, so what can I do with AI? Right?
Exactly. So we're getting the customers challenging us as opposed to us. I mean, we still do the whole, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? But we've got customers coming to us and pushing us that bit further, which is, it's awesome to see.
Never going to complain about. Customers want to come with innovation, keep coming. Yeah. So on that note then, so overarching, not just talking about Salesforce, but if you put in a nutshell, the positive impact that AI is having in marketing in general, because in my mind, I see it sort of two main buckets. So you've got the internal stuff, which is very much around helping to write copy, blogs, all of that thing, giving it prompts to build out stuff within the voice of your brand. So that's internal facing, but then it's still going to be checked by a human, right?
Yeah.
So not a lot of risk there. And then you've got the AI features that are very much customer facing. So your chatbots and things that are outward facing that are reacting back to customers. I mean, what if you could summarize it? Impact in marketing.
I mean, look, I remember when ChatGPT just came out and I was visiting a client, and it used to be one of those things that marketers would keep in their their last window on the far right corner of their screen to just pop open and write a quick prompt to help me build this email, and it would need to be no, I'm not using ChatGPT. This is all my creativity, and it's awesome now how this has changed, right? It's in the tool. It's if you're not using AI, you're not doing your job properly.
Sorry, I did it with a customer the other day, actually.
Yeah.
And we were talking about writing copy for something.
Yeah.
And I was sharing my screen on something else, and I went, well, let's just ask GPT. and then we did the prompt on there, and they were like, that's quality. You know, they came out with something really good, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to take credit for it anymore. You know? Obviously, the prompting does matter, right? So you can't say that using AI completely takes away the
100%.
skill set of the individual, because it's only as good as the information you feed it. So there's a lot of sort of data-driven models and stuff. But it definitely makes life easier.
It really does
when you're wearing multiple hats.
It really does. I mean, kind of. That's only just one part of it, right? Where you're thinking about your traditional content in an email. Where we're seeing some really cool stuff. What I'm seeing more recently is like on image generation. So that's one of my personal favorites. So there's a couple of integrations with Typeform, specifically in Marketing Cloud, where it's like your, I don't know, in the most simplest terms, like your chat GPT for images. So you write in, I want a picture of an apple on a beach in Tahiti or whatever. And it generates that image, and it gives you different options of the image, and it pulls that up onto an email. So as well as thinking about kind of text content in an email, the image generation is one of my personal favorites as a creative.
Okay. Before you carry on down a sort of serious path, let me ask you a silly question on that.
Go on.
What is the most outrageous thing that you have searched on the image generation? Right? So I'll give you an example. My friend's in music, and he's from, where is he from? Cameraman. No, originally Apollo. Where is he from? No, his African roots. Nigeria. Anyway, right.
Yeah.
So my friend is a Nigerian artist, a rapper. He's really good, on the up and coming guy called Apollo. And he wanted like a picture for his WhatsApp and to put on the website as like a brand to talk about him. And I said, what is it that's close to your heart? And he said, music, my heritage, and something about like the world. Yeah. So I put into the image generator on ChatGPT was give me the world with microphones for somebody who's from Nigeria, something like that, right? Yeah. And the image it came out with was wicked. It was like a globe, but the globe was sort of wrapped around an old style microphone, not one like this, like a metal one. Mm-hmm. And all of the colours was the Nigerian flag. Nice. And now he uses that on a lot of his communications for his music and stuff like that. And it took me 20 seconds, and then it generated it in, I don't know, maybe another 20 or 30 seconds. Within a minute, I had something that would have taken me hours to really ideate and design on Paint, or what shows my age, not Paint, you know, one of those programs where you create it, you know. And it's incredible. But yeah, come on, most outrageous one. Come on.
I wouldn't call it outrageous, but a combination of both, outrageous and also helpful. So we helped a customer recently with an abandoned cart campaign. So the prompt was obviously, with your marketing comms, you're trying to invoke emotion, right? Mm-hmm. So as you're writing your content, you're thinking about the emotion you want to invoke from the person that's reading it. So what is the prompt? Think about the scenario. Someone's abandoned their cart. You want to be like FOMO, right? Mm-hmm. You're the emotion you're trying to invoke into someone is that
Don't
whole
leave
fear
this
of missing
cart.
out.
Buy this stuff. It's going to be the best thing you've ever done.
Exactly. Otherwise, something will happen. So I can't remember what the prompt was. It was something along the lines of, give me someone in a retail environment who's shocked that the thing that they're trying to buy is no longer for sale. It took a couple of iterations. Okay. The first one, when that initially got produced, it almost looks as if a bunch of people running away from a burning house.
Probably not the sentiment you want to put across to potential customers.
Exactly. It was like a package that was sitting there, and then someone was running off with it, and then everyone else was running off crying.
I'm not even going to say where my brain's going on that one. But okay, yeah.
But we got there, a bit of tweaking, and so we measure ourselves on a couple of key metrics. So like CTA. In that scenario, we were measuring ourselves on CTA, which is CTR even, which is a click-through rate. that had nearly doubled their CTRs.
Just through that.
Just through that. Well, there was tweaks as part of the email. We did a bit of A/B testing. So we did one with a more generic, just a logo image, versus the one with the AI generated image, and smashed it. So if you're not involved using AI for your image generation, your content generation, you're really missing a trick here.
Okay, so moral of the story: get pictures from GPT or similar. No, it's not the only one that's out there, right? There are other products. I think we have to say something like that, don't we? There's not an advert for ChatGPT.
Of course.
Okay, cool. That was it's actually nice because it tied into a customer. But maybe the outrageous ones aren't for this podcast. So next thing that I wanted to move on to, I mean, that's really good to see, I think. And just quickly, actually, before we move on that point, are you seeing a lot of our customers utilising both image and sort of content generation in general for internal use at the moment?
Yes. And a lot of our customers are pushing the envelope even further. Content and image generation was big when ChatGPT came around, and then that was like the first. That's generally our customers' first foot in. And then they're starting to dig deeper into how they can use AI to build their segments, how they can use AI to decide when's the best time to send an email, how they can use AI to
send time optimization.
Exactly, correct.
Technical.
That Einstein send time optimization. We're getting a lot more of these requests in.
Yeah. Okay.
So 100% the content I feel as though the content generation piece is always that entry AI
into AI.
Exactly. It's your first taste of it, and then
it's like, okay, cool. What else can we do here?
Exactly.
All right, nice. So that's the impact. We're seeing some of that stuff happening. On that note, before we go into like what Salesforce offers in AI, because I'd like to cover, well, not Salesforce offers in AI, sorry, because we're marketing specialists. We're going to dig into marketing, not into the full AI offering across Salesforce. But before we do that, talking about customers, what are some of the sort of use cases that you've seen recently for AI in general from customers, like questions that might have been asked or use cases that you've helped ideate with some of the businesses, just to give an idea to the audience, what we're seeing from customers in terms of, what they're looking to use AI for.
Real cutting edge stuff. And I'm kind of putting my neck on the line here because it's very much still in flight, but I do want to bring it up because we are at the forefront of what we do. Mm-hmm. We're working with a customer now to implement Einstein Copilot to help with non-technical users to build segments for marketing clouds. People like yourself. Exactly, people like yourself. To help non-technical users. So... Right, a bit of context. So, as you probably heard in our last episode, Data Cloud does that stuff. You could bring in data from loads of different segments. So, you can bring data in from loads of different sources. You can, you model that data based on an individual. You can have all of their order data, everything, all their interaction with the website, or the interaction with the brand, etc., etc. You can bring all of that into Data Cloud. And a really exciting project we're working on now is Einstein Copilot to then allow to write prompts to say, right, I want to pull through a list of all customers who have bought a blue T-shirt in the past month. Yeah. And from that, it builds your segment in Data Cloud. You can then activate that into Marketing Cloud and send that as an email.
Chuck them into a journey for that particular persona.
Exactly, correct. So that is really exciting.
And like,
I mean, it depends on the data sources. So in this scenario, we've got some data which is coming in on an hourly basis, some real time, some daily. But as soon as that's in Data Cloud, when that prompt is written, straight away you can either straight away send that into Marketing Cloud, or you can have it there it's refreshing. So if you want it so that every hour it refreshes of everyone new that meets that criteria, you can then push that through into Marketing Cloud. So this Einstein segment builder that sits in Copilot,
And
yet to be live, but one we're working on.
you're working on. And wow, from a user perspective, when you're doing that, say you've written that blue t-shirt last month, etc.
Yeah.
But then, like when you're creating content, if it gives you that, and then you want to iterate it before you actually say, right, that's the final one that I want to use. Can you do that? So it will give you that, and it's like, oh, that's not quite what I was asking for. Maybe I worded it wrong, and give it more prompt to get to the point you want. And then when you're happy, boom, that's now the segmentation I'm going to use, and that's what we use to build my lists.
Exactly.
So you can iterate.
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly. It does
There
exactly.
you go. I might be a marketing consultant.
Yeah. No, you're helping our customers push your stuff along.
Don't sleep on me, Younnis. Okay, cool. So next point that I wanted to get into, looking at few use cases, nice to see. Obviously, if anybody watching has any use cases themselves or questions around that sort of stuff, you can reach out to us. But I'd love to see in the comments, anything that you've used it for in the marketing space, just so that we can understand what some people out there are doing as well. But talking specifically about Salesforce now, in Marketing Cloud, I'm going to put you on the spot here now.
Go on.
In Marketing Cloud, what do we have to play with in terms of AI within Marketing Cloud?
There's a lot. There's a lot. There has been a lot more recently.
Okay.
So we've been doing, as mentioned earlier, Einstein has been around in Marketing Cloud for a long time, and are constantly evolving that.
Yeah.
So you've got those who have been in the game for a while, your Einstein send time optimization, which is when's the best time to send that message to the person based off of when they've interacted with your email messages. But I think the real power of AI for marketers comes in conjunction with Data Cloud.
Okay.
So it's that prompt builder, which is massively helpful. We're finding, there'll be huge amounts of efficiencies for customers who to build those segments where they traditionally have taken hours in Marketing Cloud writing SQL and a lot of dependency on technical expertise. But for me, the big one personally is that Typeform into integration we spoke about earlier. So it's that image generation where we're then able to test different header images, see how that performs in the body of an email, and it's really off the back of that content production where I feel like purely in Marketing Cloud it's super helpful. But it's when you connect the AI piece with Data Cloud is where you unlock the most potential, because it's really, at least as of now, a lot of the segmentation Einstein benefits comes from that connection with Data Cloud.
Okay. Without Data Cloud though, you've got, so we said send time optimization. We've got content generation.
Exactly.
I think when I was looking, because I had to look this up, right? I think there was 6 or 7 main.
You've got engagement scoring.
Okay.
So you can based off of AI decide who are the individuals who are most interactive with your content and therefore most likely to end up buying from you. And then you've also got the copy insights. So at a copy level, so say you receive an entire email from somebody, you can say, right, it's this specific section where they're most interactive with. It's this type of content, i.e. if you're in a retail space and you're sending out an email, one email you're sending out about red handbags, and then the next email you're sending out about blue t-shirts. You can learn over time that specific person, what product are they what they're interacting with the most.
And
then build those segments.
Can it help to identify sentiment as well of customers regarding their interactions?
If I'm not mistaken, there is a tool which is around the corner from Salesforce, which is available.
Around the corner from Salesforce?
Maybe by the time this is out, it might be there.
As in coming down their roadmap, or adjacent, as in like an ISV?
Maybe. Oh, no. From Salesforce, exactly. Okay. From Salesforce themselves.
I wasn't sure if you were trying to plug something that isn't in the ecosystem, because I was about to give you a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, so as with anything, probably by the time this is out, it's there. It's in the ecosystem.
Forward-looking statements.
Forward-looking statement. Exactly.
Cool.
But yeah, so that segment builder, understanding someone's sentiment, it's all stuff which is being spoken about and is being pushed through Salesforce, which I think is great news for everybody. And the good thing is, as these new features are coming out, for customers, this is just forming a part of their license. So kind of thinking about from a customer's perspective, if I'm not mistaken, I think the only thing that's extra is that Typeform integration. You need Typeform as well.
All the others are included as part of...
Yeah, don't quote me on this one. But there's a lot of the
level of marketing code.
Exactly, which versions they're taking on. But a lot of this is coming at no extra fee to customers. So they'll at least be able to scratch the surface of the outside capabilities.
Buy type stuff. If there is something that's gated by an extra license cost or consumption or whatever, at least you've used it and understood some use cases and go, you know what, this is making a real difference.
Exactly.
It is something I want to invest in more heavily.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that we've worked with a customer in the past, being able to say, right, this is a bit of value that it brings in. Does it justify the cost for the next thing?
Funny enough, that moves really, really nicely on to the next thing I was going to say. So, talking about customers using it.
Yeah.
Getting started with AI. So, a bit like what I asked you on the first one. If I have just taken on marketing cloud engagement, maybe I've bought personalization or something else as well. It's always good to get a few of the products. But say I've just started, I'm using it, loving it, and now I'm like, oh, I want to utilize AI features in my marketing cloud. So maybe I'm a customer, I've got a couple of journeys, I've got my list together, I know who I'm marketing to, you know, my marketing strategy's there, which isn't always there before they get the technology in, boys and girls. We've worked that one out over the years. But yeah, how would I, what would be the first things that I'd probably look into or maybe dip my toe in the water with AI in marketing cloud?
So I think a good starting point for most customers would be send time optimization.
Okay. That's
where we've seen the biggest uplift. So it takes time. So if you're just getting into it, it's sort of in the name, right? Like learning. It's a learning model, right? Yeah. So you need to switch on these features. So 101, you get Marketing Cloud in. The first thing you do is switch on Einstein because
starts learning from day one.
Exactly. Because realistically, you won't see results. Well, sorry. It would be difficult to see results sooner than 3 months in. Yeah. So it takes time for the algorithm to learn how your customers are interacting with your brand. What are the criteria of your high value customers, your low value customers, you're likely to churn customers, etc. So if you're looking to get into it, make sure that those features are switched on from day one. And it's from that point that it starts learning. And then the first thing I'd start doing is that send time optimization piece, when to send that message at the right time based off of when that person most likely interacts with their messages, whether it's on the train on the way to work or whatever that may be. The next piece is that content generation. So thinking about, right, first you need to feed into going back into it learns. You need to feed into Marketing Cloud information about your brand. So it's not just all of a sudden it understands what your brand does from day one. You need to put into Salesforce, like to think about Cloudigital.
We've got into brand guidelines rudimentarily, right? So it understands what type of voice you have as a business, sentiment, customer bases, probably colours and design and stuff like that. Like anything, the more information, start with us. The more information we get from a customer, the better job we can do.
Exactly.
Same with that.
Whereas exactly. If you think about with ChatGPT, how you're every time having to pretend you're pretend you're this person or that person. You want to have it plugged in from day one. You're talking as if you are from my brand. Exactly.
It's like you're talking to another individual that knows your business. You're talking to a colleague. Yeah. Right, and you say, I want to run a campaign. And it's going to go, oh, well, knowing your brand, I would say something like this or this would be...
Exactly. Yeah. And the great thing is it gives you options, right? So don't think, right, I'm going to plug in AI and it's going to run away with it and everything's going to go rogue. With all of these Einstein features, you put the prompt in. So you're like, right, cool, you've plugged in all your brand guideline stuff, all the explainers. You then drop your content block in and you say, right, write me content on how to sell a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
it will give you options, right? It doesn't run away with it. So you still have that level of control. You don't need to worry about it going completely rogue. And it gives you options, and it gives you that as a starting point. You can write further prompts to change those, or you can take that and just tweak it. So work on. So those would be the first two things I'd suggest the customer to work on: send time optimization, getting it switched on, getting all the Einstein features switched on, and then the content generation. And then, if I could throw in a third, but this is not purely marketing cloud, but this isn't just the marketing cloud. It's a third/fourth. It's plug in Data Cloud and then plug in all the Einstein features that come in with Data Cloud. So it's that segment builder piece I spoke about earlier, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So next thing, I think look, the biggest question is, we all can see that AI is doing good stuff for us, right? And there's definitely some concerns around it. You've got people on one end of it that are like, it's going to steal everyone's jobs. There's going to be no humans left. And then you've got people that are really on board with it and wanting to do everything with it, and then obviously everything in between.
Yeah.
Now, I think the biggest hurdle that at least I've seen and had in conversations that I've had with customers, with other with vendors and with other SIs and stuff like that is trust.
Yeah.
Right now, obviously, Salesforce with the trust layer and all the rest of it, being in this space for so long, they're obviously I'd say ahead of the curve in terms of like trust with stuff that's inside their ecosystem from an AI perspective. But at the same time, there is a certain amount of hindrance to taking it on, because I think there's essentially two types, right? So you've got all that internal stuff that you're talking about there.
Yeah.
Send time optimization, the content creation, all that sort of stuff that is empowering marketing people to be able to do their job quicker and arguably better, right? Especially if it's got all of that information with tone of voice and sentiment, blah, blah, blah. Now, that's probably where you dip your toe first, right? If you're not sure, use the internal stuff, because it's not going out in front of your customers. It's not going to damage your brand if it's wrong, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But then there's so many features that also can be utilized to automate interactions with customers, as I alluded to earlier, with chatbots and interactions with customers, automatic emails and all that sort of stuff. How can we trust it?
So the features in Marketing Cloud, it still gives you that level of control.
Okay.
Right. So you're not completely letting it go rogue on your brand. I think where we've got the trust concerns from our customers is, what are these learning models learning? Are we giving the world access to all of our customer data? Are we giving Salesforce access to our customer data? And the short answer to that is no, right? Because of that trust layer that Salesforce have, zero copy. The learning model doesn't learn from any of your customer data. It does not store any of that customer data. So customers usually then feel it gives people that reassurance that that's the case. Where we've got the where we've got that piece of functionality where it's not storing any of that data, that usually comforts a lot of our customers, because it's when a customer's giving you their data, they're giving you that with a degree of trust that you're safeguarding their data.
And an NDA.
And an NDA, exactly. That's a big part of it. So the whole zero copy piece in Salesforce in Einstein. And so on that piece I mentioned earlier on how it learns from your brand.
Yeah.
So that's using prompts that you give it. So i.e. you're saying our brand is XYZ, but your customer data is safe. It's not taking anything from your customer data and storing that in Salesforce.
But then, say I've got a relatively complicated journey.
Yeah.
For a segment of customers, i.e. emails, WhatsApps, SMSs, all the rest of it, to get them to a certain point, take them down that journey. When you've got decision splits and prompts and stuff within those journeys, right? And say, if someone comes back to this email, this happens. If someone opens an email, this happens. If someone ignores it, X happens. You know, that sort of stuff. Can AI... So email sent, right?
Yeah.
Customer sees it, replies back to it. I'm very interested in this, da-da-da-da-da. That reply that then comes back to an interaction from a customer, can that be done by AI and not just from a template depending on their decision? For example, well, I think you know what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely.
Okay.
No, so look, I think this is the benefit of the Einstein 1 platform.
Yeah.
So what you're alluding to there is that crossover between marketing and sales.
Yes.
So whereas kind of you use Einstein in marketing to prompt that interaction from the customer to reach back out to you, it then crosses over to the sales process. Right, we've got that message back. I.e., you've reached out to a customer, well, to a list of customers
about a blue T-shirt, and someone's come back and said, "I really like that blue T-shirt, but I'm not sure if it's going to look good on my body type, or
exactly.
I don't know if I'd be a small or a medium." So that could then trigger it saying, "Oh, we'll send them a size chart or whatever it might be."
Exactly, and that's the thing with this Einstein 1 platform, how it sits across the entire stack. How then, right, you receive that response that comes back into Salesforce Sales Cloud, and then you can either have that one-to-one interaction via email, you can pick up the phone, you can chatbots on the website. It's across the entire Salesforce stack, which is awesome.
Yeah, because I mean, for my background, sales, alliances, marketing as well. Like, I'm looking, I look at it, and I know we look at it as like a whole journey, right?
Exactly.
Bringing the customer in, getting them through the pipe, getting them to interact with the products, buy the services, the products, whatever it is, get them sticky, get them back in and keep them in that loop, and, you know, constantly building brand trust and all the rest of it, which, you know, it's a sales and marketing process, not just marketing. So I'm looking at it a bit wider, but I know that's sort of what we tackle day to day anyways.
100%. And it's so good at that Salesforce is on the same page, right? That Einstein 1 platform is looking at that entire process. So Salesforce has customers covered to have AI throughout the entire customer lifecycle, which is awesome.
And Salesforce didn't pay you to talk about the Einstein 1.
No.
You shouldn't have had to pause at that. just to clarify, we are not being paid by Salesforce to talk about how great their Einstein 1 platform is. But, as we said, been in the game so long, on a serious note, they are very, very good at it.
Yeah.
So, on that then, looking at that, so we've looked at some of the use cases. We've gone over a bit about, you know, what's involved in the stack and stuff, and you'll see from some of the cutaways on this podcast, it in action. Throughout some of Salesforce's videos that we've got in here today as well. But I just wanted to sort of, because I'm looking at the time, and I know we're on about a 20-minute deadline, so I don't want to go over too much. Just to sort of summarise it a little bit in terms of, if somebody's watching this today and they're interested in AI and they're in the marketing space or working with the marketing space and stuff like that, apart from obviously reaching out to us and talking to us about what we can do to help you, right? What would you recommend somebody do? Would it be, you know, going onto Trailhead and learn a bit more about what's involved in it? Would it be playing around with specific features to start with? Just to sort of get someone on that ladder, that not necessarily if they're a new customer, like I alluded to earlier, but just somebody that's like in the Salesforce space or interested in Salesforce technology, and it's just like, you know what, I want to have a play around. I want to see what can be done here. I think AI could be useful to me, but God knows where I pick up. Yeah, where would we send people? We can put links in the comment section as well if necessary.
I would always recommend to start off this journey almost selfishly, thinking about how you could think about the day-to-day troubles you're having in your job, right? What are the barriers? Where are you spending all of your time doing more laborious tasks that you can make more efficient? So come into this process quite selfishly initially. Once you've got that down, because it's very likely that other people in your organization are experiencing the same pain points. And the easiest way to justify, if it does come down the route of having to get investment into to bring in the products that are needed, is to bring to the surface an understanding of the efficiencies that can be made from resolving those challenges. So
Understand your problems, build your use cases.
Exactly. So once you have that use case in place, honestly, reach out to Salesforce. Like, they've got a product to resolve most issues. And it could be already a part of your product offering if you've already got Salesforce in place. And
I mean, we've had a couple of customers that didn't know that they had these sort of things, and then they asked questions, and we were like, yeah. And they said, oh, but what do I need to get? And it's like, no, you've already got it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So speak to the professionals. Yeah, not just ourselves. You can speak to Salesforce. You can speak to your partners. You can speak to professionals who understand the product about those troubles you're having. There may be a product out there already in your platform that allows you to work from. Once you've done that, I would then recommend, as you say, Trailhead. So go into the Trailhead modules. There's loads of Trailheads out there for all of the Einstein products. It will take you through. It will unravel problems that you didn't even know you had. So that's another awesome way. And I've been speaking to some of my peers, other people that are in the industry. There is loads of options in your more traditional routes. So like courses at some of the most esteemed universities. There's loads of AI courses which are offering scholarships now, and it's really some of these places at the forefront of the AI revolution. So not purely just thinking about Salesforce. If you're looking to get clued up on AI, there's loads of courses out there at some of the big universities. So you've also got the option of, and those individuals are doing very well now from that, and they've learned a lot, and it then builds up your community of other AI experts, because you'll end up being in the same course as those who are really pushing the needle at their organizations for AI too.
Fair. And just actually on thinking about that, plug for one of my friends in the industry, a chap called Nadio Granata, who is running huge things in the AI space, ex-marketing director, and now an esteemed AI expert. He's built a community out for all of that sort of stuff as well. So yeah, fair.
Yeah, Nadio.
Yeah, he's a good lad.
He's a good lad.
Good lad, isn't he, Nadio? So whistle stop then. Use it. See what you've got. If you've got Salesforce, you've got Marketing Cloud. Yeah. See what capabilities you've got if you're not already using them. Play around with pictures. The more outrageous, the better. Right? Obviously, the trust side, I think, it is a concern in AI in general, and I get it. I've got the same concerns in certain places, but caveat to that, Salesforce being in the game so long and the trust layer that they've built, the whole Einstein 1 idea and all the architecture that sits behind it, if you're going to trust someone, trust Salesforce with it. And yeah, if you want to get started with Marketing Cloud, obviously we're here. We're always open to talk to customers and even people that are just interested in what's going on in this space. We're here to hopefully share knowledge and give information across the ecosystem.
And the segment creator as well. That is a data cloud play. So little asterisks. Plus data cloud. Marketing Cloud plus data cloud.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, that was it was really good to talk to you about AI. Obviously, we've actually been in the studio all day. We've been doing other bits as well. The last podcast that came out last month and this one as well. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, if anybody wants to know anything more about what we've spoken about today, we're here. We put our hands up. But as Younnis alluded to towards the end, there's lots of places you can go and find out all the information you need about utilising some of these tools within your Salesforce stack. But for now, we're going to leave you here. We're going to run off. It's evening time now. You need to get home to the wife and kids.
I do. Yeah,
I need
exactly.
to get to the gym. So thanks for joining us today, guys. This was episode 3, all about AI. We've got loads coming down the pipeline. We've got a roadmap for some great episodes moving forward. But if you have any ideas, if you have anything that you want to learn more about in the marketing automation space, in the Salesforce space, data cloud, any of that sort of things, anything specific you want to know about, chuck us a link in the comments below, or reach out directly to myself or Younnis. Contact details are there. And we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.